Good afternoon, everybody, man, and welcome to Brian Walker's Country Homestead. What I like to talk about on this channel is living the old times, us Generation X, how we lived and what we went through, and life was good, man. We didn't have internet and cell phone and all that stuff, but still life was good. What I want to talk about now is looking back to generation before me. Probably my grandmother on my stepfather's side, Miss Mary Godwin. She was probably the sweetest soul I had in my life at that time. And there was a couple of others. My wife's grandmother, Miss Lula May, she had a sweet soul. She was, oh man, those times were precious, man, and you're not gonna see anything like that anymore. And the women these days, I know I'm gonna get some comments, I'm gonna make them mad, but not all of them, but most of them, y'all can't cook, man. Compared to grandma, man, y'all cannot cook. I can remember back in the day, chicken and pastry was rolled out. The dumplings were homemade, rolled out. She didn't believe in using this yellow food coloring to put in her pastry. She cooked a whole hen or a couple of whole hens in a huge pot. Biscuits were made with old-timey fat lard, buttermilk, flour. Collard greens were made with bacon grease. Peas and butter beans, same way. I mean, it's totally different now than what it used to be. I mean, the food, the cakes, birthday cakes, holiday cakes, and any of that, all that was made from scratch. There weren't no store-bought boxes of cake mix or store-bought icings. It's good now and it's convenient, but back then they made it homemade. So I asked my grandma one time, I said, how in the world do you learn to cook so good? Well, she told me back in the day they all worked the fields, they were sharecroppers, putting in tobacco and that sort of thing. And she said about an hour and a half before lunchtime she had to go to the house, get in the kitchen and prepare the meal for lunch. Same way for supper. And there again, that she'd get the flour can out and cook the biscuits, cook whatever meat there was, whether it was pork chop or most of the time it was like fried chicken or baked chicken, something other like that. And she'd get in there and do it. She didn't go by no recipe, everything was up here. So all in all, you know, and one thing about it, when you talk about these older folks, man, you need to hold them dear to your heart. I mean, my grandma Crenshaw, she was a sweet soul. She was the same way, cooked the same. I mean, they could cook. I mean, and these are the folks that kept the family together. I remember going to grandma's house on the holidays. Oh my God. She had a living room, dining room, kitchen, and a den, all full of people. Everybody in the family was there. We had a big feast. She had a gigantic Christmas tree in the living room, and the presents loaded down was stacked up almost high as a tree, and I believe her tree was 7 foot then. And she lived in Fayetteville right there by Cape Fear Valley Hospital. So, you know, she loved the city, and she was old time raised, but the love she had for everybody in her family, and I was a step sibling, but she accepted me just like I was one of her own. and I always held that to my heart. But the older folks, man, they were trying to tell us something. Now we got all this technology in here, and I was born in 1970, so I'm part of that generation that lived before and after technology, meaning internet. And I think the closest thing we had to that is when I was working as a police officer a few years. We got pagers, maybe started getting pagers, and then after that the internet came in, computers, and then the cell phones. So now I live after technology. There's a group of us that are in there, and we had the older cars that will run. Nowadays, if something was to happen and there'd be an electromagnetic storm, or somebody fires them bombs off that cuts off your car ain't gonna start. But the older cars, they're gonna run. So yeah, they can cook, man. They can cook. When I was working Red Spring, there's an elderly black lady, I called her grandma. She called me white boy. We were mutual. I mean, we got along back then, man. It was sarcasm. We didn't pay that crap no attention. But like on Sundays, if I was working, if I didn't go to my grandma's, which was my wife's grandma, I would go by her house, because she told me, if you don't come by here, I'm going to fix you a plate. If you don't come by here, I'm going to whip your ass. And when I go by there on Sunday, man, just chicken and pastry, fried chicken, pork chop, ham hock, collard green, black-eyed peas, cake. I mean, just every Sunday after church, she would cook and she would call me. A good friend of mine, Miss Maddie. That's what her name was. I called her grandma. I called her my black grandma. But I enjoyed working with my people then, and getting to know my people. There wasn't no big deal, because that was my job. I get out, get to know people and talk to them. But there was no. And boy, whew, once you ate that plate, boy, you felt like going to sleep. But it was like that back then. The older folks looked out for each other. It's different now. You might get a text message from somebody, that's as far as you go. We were close back then. Even in high school, we had a closeness. We'd get together, there'd be a party somewhere, closeness, we'd go. We didn't have cell phones and text each other and da-da-da-da. It was closer in. You enjoyed getting out and going and seeing people. Now, you're lucky to see them in church. I got to go more than I've been going. I need to go. I just got this issue with trusting a lot of people, man. I just don't. It's, and I don't have that attitude just because I'm older that I'm entitled to this. I don't have that. But the younger folks, man, they got that entitlement attitude, like I'm entitled to everything and not accountable for a thing in the world I do. And that's, I don't know. We just live our life the way we live it, and try to keep on, the older folks have passed on, and you try to keep that part with you. And it's so hard. It's very hard. But you have to grin and bear it, because Miss Maddie, for a matter of fact, me and Daddy decided to take a trip, and a fishing trip, to carry the boat, and we go to the coast and do some fishing, catch 2 or 3 coolers full, We'd catch them and clean them, and I'd have the freezer bags right there, and I'd carry Miss Maddie some fish, Boy, you talking about a happy woman, son, and she could fry them up. Get the cornmeal ready and the grease going, because she was going to cook it up, Jack. And hey, I always like taking care of my people, man, and people taking care of me. So, and this old homestead here, country living, I'm retired police officer, sheriff's deputy. So I have a lot of time, to do things. I probably could go work part-time somewhere, but I don't know. I enjoy raising my chickens and taking the boat out, going fishing, just kidding around with my daughter, messing around with these old dogs. But it's a give and take, man. But I just wanted to put that out there as far as old times. Long gone, but the memories is all we have, man. Pictures and memories and stuff. So I enjoy playing music on the side, recording, writing my own songs, and I played a lot of rock bands and country bands and stuff, and still play. I like to play with my church group now, the Born Again Christian Band. But that's as far as I go with that. But I enjoy it. I like coming on my channel, and sharing some stuff and talking some stories and stuff. But anyway, man, hey, until next time, hey, if you like the channel, hit like and subscribe. Hey, appreciate it. We'll see you some